Hi. Today I'm going to tell you about my summer. Sorry, I'm a little sick, so it sounds a little rough. Summer 2018 was incredible. It was busy. It was fun. It was just a really, really good summer. One that I haven't had a summer like this since high school or junior high, where everything was just like amazing and fantastic. My summer started with yoga teacher training. I work at a yoga studio right now, and my yoga studio is in Wheaton, where I live, and we also host yoga teacher training. So for yoga teachers, you need to go through a 200-hour training. My studio holds 9-week trainings or year-long trainings. But the 9-week training that I was supposed to do over the summer was canceled. And the two teacher trainer leads were running a 16-day immersive training in Milwaukee. So I did 200 hours worth of training in 16 days. It was insane. And I stayed in Milwaukee for the whole time. I was sad to leave my husband and my dog, my boys, but it was such a cool experience. I stayed in this Airbnb. I've never stayed in an Airbnb before. I rented a room in somebody's house, which I was not so sure about, but the woman was in India on a yoga retreat, so I had the entire house to myself, which was really cool. Excuse me. The house was really big and quirky, old, full of light and interesting art. It was really cool. The days were really, really, really long. Training went from 7 a.m. until pretty much 7 p.m. But for all the work that we did all day long, pretty much every night we went out and got drinks or went and explored Milwaukee, which is a super cool area. I've never been there before. Yoga teacher training talked about lots of things. Obviously, we learned how to teach yoga and break down different postures. We had this very, very, very big manual. It was over 200 pages maybe. It was really thick. But I learned a little bit about myself during this time too. I got some good feedback about my teaching, which was really cool. And I got to know the girls that the women I went through yoga teacher training with very well. So that was, I believe, June 17th, 18th through July 3rd. I came home on July 3rd, and it was my grandma's birthday. And we went to Jameson's, a steak restaurant, to celebrate, which is funny because I'm a vegetarian and I don't eat steak. But we went anyways. Had some cocktails, had some wine. It was a really great way to be welcomed back home and to celebrate my Nana's birthday. Basically, as soon as I got back, my husband, James, went on work trips. So he started traveling for work. So he was gone for a couple weeks, which brought us to the end of July. And, way back up, before I went to yoga teacher training, I got so sick. Oh my gosh, I didn't work for an entire week. I was really sick. I went and saw a doctor, and I had an upper respiratory infection. It was summer. You shouldn't get sick like that, but I was. For my husband's birthday, which was June 4th, I had booked us an Airbnb. This was like the summer of Airbnb. I had booked us a 2-night stay at this tiny little cottage on a lake in Antioch, Illinois, which is about 45 minutes from where we live. And I was really excited about it because I've never really been near water. Wanted to experience something new. and I was too sick, so we had to cancel. So we postponed the trip until my birthday weekend. My birthday was July 31st. But before we went on our trip, I went to three concerts in a week. It was fantastic. On Monday, I went to Warped Tour in Milwaukee. So I saw lots of like pop punk alternative bands with my best friend. It was amazing. This was the last Warped Tour, and I had gone to several of the Warped Tours back in high school. So even though I didn't know but 3 or 4 of the bands this time that were playing, I did this to honor my little 16, 17-year-old angsty self. So it was Monday. Thursday, I saw my favorite band in high school, and it's still one of my favorite bands, Taking Back Sunday. So stoked. They were fantastic. I've never seen them live before. And then that following Monday, James, for my birthday, took me to see Foo Fighters at Wrigley Field, which was amazing. Like, best show I've ever seen. They rock so hard. The show was amazing. So Monday was July 30th. And then my birthday was Tuesday, July 31st. And James and I went to stay in this cottage in Antioch on the lake. It was amazing. It was so relaxing. The biggest decision every day was, do we want to sit in the hammock outside of our cottage, or do we want to walk down the steps and go sit at the beach? We went paddle boarding. No. I take it back. We didn't paddleboard. We went kayaking and swimming. We had a bonfire. It was amazing. The only problem I had was that I couldn't bring Leonidas, my fur child. But he was with his grandma, so he was okay. Let's see what else. We came back. I started teaching restorative yoga. Restorative yoga is a very calm practice. You're on the ground. I'm so sorry. You're on the ground, either on your belly or your back, and you hold postures for long periods of time. And it breaks up the fascia that surrounds your muscles. So it's a really, really deep stretch. And then a week later, I auditioned to teach power yoga, vinyasa yoga, which is where every movement matches a breath. So inhale this, exhale that. And I passed my audition, which was awesome. That's what I learned how to do in teacher training. So it was cool to put my learning to good use. My audition was August 10th. And I found out I passed my audition and got a power yoga class August 11th while I was on vacation with my family in Galena, Illinois. Galena is about 2.5 hours from my house. We had a lot of fun. It was my cousins and my mom and my aunt and my husband and Leo and I, my brother. We went into Dubuque, Iowa, about 20 minutes away, and did some shopping there and went to a brewery. We were just there for the weekend, came home, did some work. My amazing summer, it was so good. I spent time outside. I was tan. I was happy. My summer came crashing to a halt on August 20th when my Nana passed. She was in the hospital for about a week. It was really sudden, her passing though. We expected her to move on to a rehab center for a little bit before she came home, but she didn't. Yeah, and the rest of my summer was taking care of my grandpa and kind of figuring out what my life looks like without my grandma. We were really amazingly close. She was one of my dearest friends, and I miss her very much. And now I'm back at school, and I feel like the days are getting shorter. It's getting dark earlier, and it'll be fall before we know it. So it sucks that things ended terribly, but overall it was a really great summer. And yeah, I wonder what next summer will bring.